just a little bit, so you'll be able to see what I'm actually doing right now. I hope you guys are having a great morning so far. It is Thursday, the 26th, I believe. And man, has time flown by. I can't believe that we are already, like, done with June practically. It's crazy. Time goes by so fast. And so, yeah. Anyways, today is Thursday, as I said. So it is Throwback Thursday, which, as many of you know, is story day, story time, chat with me, whatever you want to call it. Talking about something that's happened, in the past, which, could be from a year ago or it could be from 20 years ago. Just depends on, what I feel like talking about that day or, what I've planned. So, thus far, I have kept it really light and fun. And today is also that way. If I make one that might be a little heavier or more emotional or anything like that, I will warn you guys ahead of time, because I wouldn't want to, upset anybody, or I don't want somebody to, sometimes it's just too much emotion, and I don't want to overwhelm or trigger anybody, so I will always warn you guys ahead of time if any of these are emotional, either in a good or bad way. But today it is not. So I was thinking about what I could talk about, and I decided I was going to tell you a little bit about a trip we went on when I was 8. So, when I was 8 years old, my family went to California. My mom is from California. So, I'm going to see if I can zoom. Oops, sorry, I know you're seeing my fingers right now, but dang, I can't zoom. Okay, I'll just move you. I'll just move you closer. There we go. My mom's from California, from Pasadena, California. She lived there when she was a little girl, moved up here when she was 10, I believe, or 8, something like that. My uncle, he was really getting sick a lot and having all sorts of problems, ear problems because of the smog and sinus stuff, and basically the doctors told them that if they stayed there in California with the smog, he would have, major problems. I think they even said he could be, have major hearing loss. I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically that the smog was really going to affect his health, and it would be, pretty drastic. So they decided to move to Spokane. I'm not sure what made them decide to move to Spokane, but they did. And my mom was, a little girl, and they went back actually, I don't know, not much later, and visited California, and that's where my mom was diagnosed with diabetes when they were on vacation, which wasn't the best timing, but you can't plan those kind of things. But anyways, my mom and dad's family, most of them live here. So my mom's mom and dad live here in Spokane, and my uncle still lives here in Spokane. My aunt lives here in Spokane, and everything. So anyways, we all kind of come up here, and so, yeah. Anyways, but when I was 8 years old, we decided to go on a trip to, well, I can't say we. My parents decided we were going to go to California to do Disneyland and all those fun things there, and also visit my great-grandma, which was my mom's grandma, and some other extended family up there in California. So it was the first time that I had been on a plane. And I don't know, I was probably nervous because, well, that was just me. I got nervous about everything, but, oh, by the way, if you hear anything in the background, that is my husband getting ready to go to work. He has to go in to work. He has to be there at 6, so he's up by 4:30 usually, and he leaves the house about 5:30, so he's kind of, going around the house getting his stuff together. So anyways, so we went to the airport. It was real early in the morning, and like we had to get up at like 4:30 in the morning, I believe, and headed out to the airport. And I remember me and my sister both wanted the window seat, me being the baby. I don't know what card I played, but I somehow won that argument and got to be in the window seat. And I was in the window seat. I didn't get motion sickness back then. I do now really bad, but back then I never got car sick. I never, nothing. But some reason being in the airplane, and I was looking out the window and everything made me pretty sick. I didn't throw up, which was good, but I remember that my mom, this is kind of gross, so if you can't handle gross, fast forward like a minute. So my mom I thought I was just going to throw up because I was feeling really bad. And they have those little barf bags in the airplane. Well, my mom decided that she would just get one just in case. And I remember my sister, too, being like, take my sweater. I don't want her to throw up on my sweater. So, I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Anyways, my mom, she goes to open one of those lovely bags, not knowing somebody had used it. And not, there wasn't like, throw up in there. It was just spit. But she, you know how you stick your hand in a bag like that and you open it? Yeah, it was gross. And my mom was like, the stewardess noticed right away and brought her over towels and apologized. And my mom, she's not one to like get upset. Like, it wasn't the stewardess' fault if the person put it back, so, but yeah, that was kind of something that I remember from that trip, which was kind of gross, and I'm sure my mom remembers that a lot because it was her. But anyways, we got there to Disneyland, or not to Disneyland, to California, and we were going to stay with family for part of the trip. So when we got there, we stayed with my mom's aunt and uncle, so it would have been my great aunt and uncle. And so we went to their house, and I remember I was one of those kids that worried a lot. Like, if something could happen, it was, in my mind, it was going to happen. And, I remember knowing, like, California was the place where earthquakes happened. And we had just finished eating dinner, or lunch. I don't remember which one it was, but I was sitting on the floor, and I remember feeling like I was like going up and down, like floating, kind of a feeling, like the earth was moving. And I started to panic, thinking that we were having an earthquake. We were not having an earthquake. My mom was like, honey, you've never been on a plane before. It's just the feeling from the plane. And you know how when you go on something and like you get off and you still feel like you're moving, or like, you jump on a trampoline and you get off and you feel like you're, you know what I mean, that feeling. So, so yeah, I was only 8 years old, so like the whole trip, I don't remember like detail by detail, but I just remember these little snippets of things, I guess you could say. But we went to Disneyland, which was my first and only time that I've been to Disneyland. I believe we went for more than one day, but I don't really remember for sure. Because we went to different places. Like, we went to Knott's Berry Farm, we went to Six Flags, we went to, we went a lot of places, so I don't know what was what, really. But, we went to Disneyland, and we got to see the shows, and apparently, I don't really remember this, but my mom was telling me how, you know at Chuck E. Cheese, how they have those, like, shows where the animals, like, kind of move and talk, and they're, like, robotic kind of things, up on stage. Well, they had a show similar to that, and it was a bunch of bears. And the bears were putting on this show. I was 8. I shouldn't have been scared of that kind of stuff anymore. I wasn't like 4 or something. But apparently I really did not like that show. It scared me pretty badly. I don't remember that, but my mom does. She, reminded me of what a chicken I was, and I still am, but not with that kind of stuff, obviously, anymore. But, a big thing at Disneyland, Six Flags, Knott's Berry Farm, all those places, one of the main attractions are rides. And I don't do rides. Like, I don't like them. They scare the crap out of me. I don't like them. The whole time my family tried to convince me to go on them over and over and over. And over and over and over, I refused. And so I would wait in line with them. And as they went up, how you have the entryway, you go up, you go on the ride, and then you get off, on a slightly different area and leave. So, being that I was only 8, they would go on the ride, and a worker would take me, kind of watch me while they were on the ride, and then take me to the exit area to meet them. Because I just flat out refused to go on the rides. Now, I did certain ones, like car ones, and like stuff like that, things that didn't go fast. But, there was this one, we were at, I believe it was Knott's Berry Farm, and there was this ride, I can't remember what it's called. My mom remembered what it was. If I can remember, I'll put it down in the screen. But anyways, we were waiting in line, and the whole time my mom's telling me that I'm going to do this one because it's like a little kid roller coaster. It's no big deal. It doesn't go fast. It doesn't go high, up and down. Or, it was one of those like real easy rides. Like the ones you go on like at Planet Hollywood. And is it Planet Hollywood? No. What is that one place? Entertainment Studios, I think, or something like that. What is that? I can't remember what that's called. Yeah, anyways, I think it's Entertainment Studios. Something or other. I can't think. It's early. It's early in the morning. Anyways, so she's like, my mom's telling me, it's super easy. To me, it looked like any old roller coaster. So I did not want to do it, but she basically forced me, telling me that I would enjoy this one, that it was not a big deal, and so I did. I got on, and little did she know that it was not like she thought it was. It was like a little roller coaster. Of course, it wasn't like no big roller coaster or something, but it was a roller coaster nonetheless. It went like almost sideways, and it was super high in the air. I hate heights. It was fast. I remember I don't think I cried, but I was I was not happy. And I was gripping onto my mom's leg. Sorry, I have some runaway drills here on my thing. Anyways, I remember gripping my mom's leg, and I remember my dad and my sister, they were right behind us, laughing because I was, freaking out on this ride. And it was not, like I said, it wasn't like a huge roller coaster or anything. That my mom wouldn't have done that to me. But nonetheless, she did not know what this roller coaster was like. She thought it was like a little kid roller coaster. That was her impression of this ride. But it wasn't that way. So I did not enjoy it at all. From there on out, I refused to go on anything. I mean, anything. I didn't believe them. I was like, nope, 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 nope. You guys, basically, in my head, my mom tricked me on that ride. And I wasn't doing that anymore. Now we went to, I don't know, depends on how old you are. If you remember the show Step by Step, and it has, oh shoot, what's her name? Starts with an S. Now she has all those workout videos too. I don't know. It'll come to me. Anyways, Step by Step is the show where the mom has like 2 kids and the dad has kids and they get married. So it's, a family that comes together through marriage. And in the beginning of that show, the song, the intro, there's that big white roller coaster, and it's next to the ocean. Well, that's a lovely thought, but no, it's not next to an ocean. The ocean on that show is actually a big parking lot in real life. And then there's also a part in the intro where they are standing on that bridge and the ride comes down and splashes them all. Well, my parents went on that, and I think that was called Thunder Mountain. I'm not sure, though. So my family was going on it, and of course I refused at that point to do it. So I went up on the bridge to wait for them. They were the ones on the ride. I was standing there on the bridge watching them come down, and that splash is no joke. Like, I actually really remember that part. It splashed me so big. I mean, as I was walking, so they get off the ride, you guys. They are like dry. I don't even think they got splashed a little bit. They were all dry. And they come up to me and they are just all like hysterically laughing because I am like drenched. It looked like I had been dipped in a pool. I mean, it was that much. I was walking off of the bridge, and as I was walking off the bridge, my shoes were squishing every step I took because that's how much water, how much I got wet. Luckily, it was a nice day outside, but yeah, they went on the ride and I'm the one that got drenched. But I was okay with that. I think I would rather at that point get drenched than go on that ride. I still haven't changed when we went to Silverwood the numerous times, like when I was younger with my friends or with our class or whatever. Silverwood is a theme park here in Idaho, right by where I live. And I just walked around and watched everybody and held everybody's stuff while they went on the rides. I still don't like rides. It's just not my thing. We did go to that one place I was telling you about. It's the one where, it's like Entertainment Studios or something like that. Because we went on like an E.T. ride thing. And I hate E.T. Like, hate it. You might be an E.T. lover. That is all fine and dandy for you. I'm happy for you. don't care about if you like it. I don't. I hate it. It just freaks me out. I love scary movies. I can handle pretty dang scary movies. I can handle horror movies, gore, all that stuff. Doesn't bother me. But E.T. is not, I'm just not a fan at all of E.T. But nonetheless, we went on that ride. And because it wasn't a big scary ride, my mom made me go on it. And it's like the one where you're sitting there and you're on like a bike kind of a thing, but you go really high and through different, I don't know. I don't really remember all of it, but anyway, so after, we went there, we did drive down to, we went to Pasadena to visit my grandma, and we didn't stay with her. I don't know why. Maybe they didn't have enough room. So we went to visit her, but stayed with my great aunt Harriet. And I remember being at my grandma's house, or my great grandma's house. I didn't know her well. So she did, though, move up here later in life. Actually, after I had my son Alex, she came to visit and met Alex, and then decided she was going to move up here. So she moved up here and lived here from the time my son was born pretty much to till she passed away. She was 100 years old when she passed away. So it was nice, though, because we got to know her later in life. Because as a kid, she lived, in California, and I didn't really know her that well. Now, granted, I actually we were pen pals. We would write each other letters, me and her would. And I always loved that. And I remember there were lots of times, though, I had to get, even though I could read very well, there were times I had to get my mom to read it because my great-grandma's handwriting is so bad. But anyways, but I really enjoyed getting to know her as an adult. And she, of course, loved my kids and spoiled them. My kids, get this. Now, some people don't even have, I know I'm going off of my main story, but some people don't even have, one biological grandma. My kid, I felt so blessed because my kids not only had one, but 4 biological grandmas, all in the same town. We had my mom and my husband's mom. Then we had my grandma and my great-grandma. And so they were, they were and still are spoiled. They still have 3 grandmas because my great-grandma passed away, but they still have both of their grandmas and their great-grandma. My papa died 2 years ago. But, yeah, so they're pretty lucky to have that family here in town. Because not everybody does. And so, but anyways, when we went to California, I really did not know, I didn't know her well besides letters. But, I was 8 years old, so it's not like, I wasn't just instantly, I'm a pretty outgoing person. However, I'm not just, especially as a kid, I was not just instantly comfortable with somebody that I didn't know. And we were staying at her house, and I remember having lunch, and it was so funny. We were having lunch. My grandma is one of those, my grandma's like this, and my great-grandma was like this. So the whole time you're eating, if you need anything, or she even thinks you needed something, she'd be up trying to get it for you. Well, we were eating lunch, and there was more family there visiting because we were there, and he would have been my grandma's cousin, I believe. His name was Michael, and she had offered him more food. Well, he had already eaten 2 sandwiches. My dad had eaten 2 sandwiches, which that was not typical for him. And we had iced tea, I remember, and I don't remember how many cups he had of tea. But my grandma offers him more, and he says, "No thanks, I'm good." And I remember her getting like, "Oh, you didn't like the tea?" And basically accusing him of not liking the food or the tea because he didn't want any more. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. And, they had already eaten, ate a lot of food and drank a lot, but she, wasn't happy with that. So I remember that. And then I also remember being there, and my great grandma, she was a wonderful crocheter. She loved to crochet. Well, me and my sister both wanted to learn how to crochet. And so my sister's 2 years older than me, so she was 10. And for whatever reason, my grandma thought I was not old enough to learn to crochet. So she taught my sister, and I was very, very, very upset that I wasn't getting to learn to crochet. And there is actually a picture. I don't know why my mom decided to take a picture of me when I was basically throwing a fit, but I'm behind the couch in this picture, and I have my my doll, her name was Jessica, and I wouldn't go anywhere without Jessica. I still have her. She was a Cabbage Patch doll that my grandma gave me when I was 2. And anyways, so I had my doll, and I'm sitting behind the couch with my face in my doll, being all pouty and upset. And then apparently, because she decided she would show me how, but she couldn't do both at the same time, and ended up not having the time to teach me. I never learned how. I'd still love to learn how. My sister, and the one who lived in Germany, she just moved back yesterday, you guys. I'm so excited. I didn't get to see her. She didn't get here till I don't know, it was close to 9 when they got here finally, because they missed their connecting flight. Anyways, they got here late, so I haven't got to see her, and I probably won't get to see her today just because she has 4 kids, and they're going to need time to kind of unpack, and I'm sure they're going to be pretty jet lagged. So, but I'm really excited to go and see her because I haven't seen her in 3.5 years, and me and my sister have always been really close. But anyways, my sister she learned to crochet on this vacation, and she picked it up and she ran with it because she still does crocheting all the time. She makes hats and scarves and blankets, and I mean, she's always been really good at it, and I never did learn. But now that she's back, I'm going to make her teach me. I tried to learn from one of those stupid magazines that teach you, oh, do this, do that. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I couldn't get it through the magazine, so that's just, yeah, but she's back, so she's going to teach me. I've decided. So yeah, so she got to learn on vacation how to do that. Then from there, hold on, I got to grab a drink. Okay. Then from there, we went to San Diego. And we were driving, and this part is, I don't know, kind of gross, but not really. Depends on how sensitive you are. We were driving from Pasadena to San Diego. And we got stuck on a freeway, which, this is the only time I've ever been to California, but from what I've heard, that's very common. Traffic there is horrendous. We were stuck on a freeway, and we got basically if this was our car, we had a semi. We were stuck by semis. Well, you know how bad semis smell? Like the diesel and just the fumes and all of that stuff. Well, my sister, she used to get car sick. And she, yeah, so she was getting car sick. And I used to be so sensitive to it that I was sitting in the back seat with her crying because she was sick. And I didn't like that, being stuck in there. I can't find 7. Gosh darn it. Where are you? 7. Is that a 7? That's a 7. Okay. Anyway, she got car sick. I was the one crying because she was, getting sick next to me. Not like it went anywhere, she had something. But anyway, so then, of course, the very first rest stop that we could get to, we went to, and which was really cool, actually, because they had, when we pulled out, we got into this rest stop, and there were wild bunnies everywhere. Like, I love animals, and yeah, there were wild bunnies all over. It was really cool to see all these bunnies just, roaming about this rest stop, and they didn't care that people were there and walking around. Yeah, it was just, I remember seeing that, and that was a really cool thing. And then, anyway, so we got back in, we went to San Diego, and we stayed in a hotel in San Diego because I don't think we have any family or anybody that we know that lives there. So we stayed in a hotel, which was really fun because it had a pool, and I loved the water. I loved being in the water. And so, yeah, so we were in the pool quite a bit. And then we went to San Diego, we went to SeaWorld. And got to see Shamu and dolphins and, all that stuff. And I loved seeing the Shamu. They, do the whole show, and people in the front row get like drenched from him. And it was a really fun show, and I really, really remember that part. I don't remember walking around and seeing all the other animals so much as seeing Shamu and like the dolphins and all that in the show. It's kind of, it's pretty fascinating, especially as a young child, how well trained they can get, those animals. I mean, it's just like training a dog, you can use the clicker and getting them to do all that stuff. It's just amazing, though, because there's hours and hours of work that goes in that to get it to look like that, but it looks so flawless and so easy. But when you think about it, that it's taken a lot of work to get to that point. But yeah, it's so worth it to go, and I recommend, if you are in San Diego, to go there. I would love to go there and take my kids there. I'd never, I always said too, I wouldn't take them until the youngest was at least 8. I was 8 years old, and I remember a lot of things, but I don't remember everything. And, if you take your child when they're really little and you don't plan on going again, they're not going to remember everything, and so, but I would like to take, especially Maddie would love to go. She would love it. Alex would like it too, but Maddie would be through the roof if she found out she got to go down to California, Disneyland, SeaWorld, all that fun stuff that you get to do on vacation. But yeah, so it was a really fun vacation. My Aunt Darlene, who we stayed with for a lot of the trip, had tortoises. Back then, I guess it was legal to just go out and get them and bring them home and make them pets. And when they had eggs, they would raise them till they were a certain age, and then they would give them away. If you don't know, tortoises, they can live for like 100 and something years. They live a long time. And so when we saw them, they were estimated to be about 70 years old or so. They were about the size of I would say like this way, you know. They were about the size of maybe a watermelon or something. Anyways, they'd roam around the backyard, and I remember feeding them lettuce and thinking that that was like the coolest thing, that they had these big turtles that lived in their backyard. And yeah, and they still have them actually, because like I said, they live a long time. Wouldn't it be nice if dogs and cats lived that long? Because then, you know, yeah, you wouldn't have to go through heartbreak and all that with your animals quite so much, because they don't live very long compared to us people. But so yeah, that was my trip to California, and it was one of those things where the memories of that trip will last my whole life, because I was old enough to remember most of the things, especially, you know, the significant things that happened. And we went on vacation, I think, every other summer, and we went camping every summer. But that was the biggest trip I remember going on as a kid, was to, you know, Disneyland and all of those places that we went in. And I'm very thankful and grateful for my parents for taking us to those places, because it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good memories there. We have a lot of fun pictures, just, you know, from that trip. And I wish I could grab some and show you, but I don't know where they are. I believe they're at my mom's, but I don't know. I have that picture somewhere of me pouting with my doll in the back of the couch, because I didn't get to crochet. But yeah, it was a fun trip. And I just was thinking about it and thought, you know, yeah, I think I'll do it on that, because it's just kind of a fun, lighthearted memory. And I know that a lot of us have good memories like that when we were kids, and it kind of just brings back all of those happy feelings that we had when we you know, went and did these things. So yeah, so that's my throwback today for you guys. I am very excited, though, to see my sister. Like, that's just been on my mind, because obviously she just came in yesterday. She missed her connecting flight, though, which was too bad, because she was supposed to get on at the Seattle airport at 3:30. That's when their flight was supposed to leave. Well, their flight from Germany was behind or something. They didn't get there and get through customs. They were still in customs at like 4:30 in Seattle. And so they had to get a later flight, which was like 7 something. So she has 4 kids. She's by herself because her husband Ken stayed in Germany to finish his teaching job, and then sell the last, you know, things that they didn't get to sell before my sister left. And then I believe he'll be here at the end of July. But yeah. So I've been very anxiously awaiting that. I know, I'm sure my mom was kind of going nuts yesterday waiting too. And my dad is one that goes to bed at like 8 o'clock, because he gets up at like 2 or 3. And he didn't go to bed. He actually went with my mom to pick them up from the airport at 9 o'clock at night. And that's very unusual for my dad, but he wanted to see them, and he hasn't seen them in a while, because my mom went to visit them during Christmas, but he did not go during that trip, because she was going to be there for a couple weeks, and he didn't want to take off that much time off of work. I think they were busy or something at that time. I don't really remember, but he didn't go that time. He's gone, though. He's gone like 3 or 4 times to Germany. So, but anyways, yeah, over Christmas, instead of taking my dad, my mom, she took my son, which was awesome. He had a grand time. It was different, though. Not having him here at Christmas time was very weird. But he had so much fun. He didn't want to leave. He, says Germany's his homeland. He has some German in him because my dad has quite a bit of German in him. So he's like, those are my people. Anyways, but yeah, I hope you guys are having a great day today. I don't know what the weather's like where you are. It's going to be thunderstormy and icky here today. It's only supposed to hit like 70, which in the end of June is typically quite a bit warmer than that. So, yeah, but we still have our pool here, though, is kept really pretty warm on cool days. We tend to turn the heat up in the pool, so we went swimming, or they did, the other day. I took them over in the evening time, and it was like 8 o'clock, 7:30 or 8 when we got there. So it was starting to cool down outside quite a bit, and they said that the water was like bath water. Now, when it's hot out, they turn it down. Otherwise, it wouldn't be, refreshing. It would just be annoying. So I took care of our pool here at the apartment complex for 4 years. So this is the first year really in a long time that I haven't taken care of it. And it's different. And the person doing it now he just doesn't really know what he's doing all that much. So, because the pool is supposed to be open on Memorial Day weekend, it was like 2 weeks late. We have lived here since 2012. It has never been late. It's always been open on time. He just did not know how to get the levels correct, and he didn't know how to get the algae to leave the pool from, the winter sitting there. And I finally went and talked to our maintenance man to tell him what to do so that he could kind of tell the guy what to do. So that went good because 2 days after I gave them that advice, it got opened. So I was glad that I went and talked with them because I didn't want to feel like I was being pushy or acting like, oh, I know better than you, or, which, I do because I did it for so long, but I didn't want to offend anybody or step on anybody's toes or anything. The maintenance man, this is his first summer here, and then the groundskeeper, who is the one that takes care of the pool, which is what I used to do, he's been doing it this is his second year, but he just hasn't got it. Like, I've trained him on that pool 4 times, and he just can't seem to remember what to do. He's older, and has horrible hearing, and so I try to be really loud and clear with him, but he's, it just, yeah, I don't know, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm kind of done with living here. I really would like to get a house, especially because I want the kids to have their own rooms at their age. I want the dogs to be able to go outside and go potty without me always going with them, like when it rains or I just don't feel like it. I'd love to be able to just open up a back door and be like, yeah, go right ahead, guys, that would be wonderful. Obviously, if it was a fenced backyard, I wouldn't just do that if it wasn't fenced. However, I could do that because my dogs are very well trained not to, like my mom's house, we go there, and my mom's house is not fenced. And they never run off. They're, they know, first of all, they don't ever really go far from me. and they continue, like when we go to the field across the street, they have free roam of the place. Like, I don't really care how far they go. I like to be able to see them, but they go, you know, pretty far. But every few, like, I don't know, if I'm over there for a while, every 3 to 5 minutes, they run back over to me and, you know, check in, make sure, which is normal. Dogs do that. They just kind of make sure everything's cool, and then they go off back to what they were doing. And so they would be fine with a backyard that didn't have a full fence, but I still would, you know, would prefer to have one with a fenced yard so that I could just open the back door and know that they were fine without having to come let them in right away. Yeah, anyways, I'm hoping, I really would like to get this piece done. Like, today is Thursday. Man, I don't know. We'll see. If I work hard enough, I really want to get this one done by the weekend. I mean, by the end of the weekend. Because I have another one that I would like to really get going because it's a gift for somebody. Of course, it's not like a birthday or a date that they have to have it by, and they don't know they're getting it, but I still would like to do that. Plus, I got that one yesterday. Oh my gosh, if you haven't seen, you haven't because I haven't posted it yet, the unboxing of, no, I did unbox it yesterday. It was on my Whip It Wednesday / unboxing video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, you should check it out. That piece from Star Roar, I am like, even though I've seen the actual artwork, and it's not the artwork that really hooked me, it was the company. I just was extremely impressed by the company. They really, really got me. Because not only did they give, you know, extra things like I got a 4-placer, a 9-placer, they also, which I have never seen a company do this before. So in case you didn't see it, I'll just show you. So do you see how I have right here, I have these, they're called, I believe it's opaque color. It's the paper. These pieces, okay? So, you know how some come with these if you have the double-sided adhesive, or you get the plastic. Well, I don't like this plastic. The only thing I like about it is I know that if this plastic is there, then I know that was a pour glue method. So I do like that because those are better canvases. However, I don't like dealing with the plastic. It's loud, it's annoying. You can't see it, so there's times I've accidentally almost like put drills on it. Anyways, so this company actually sent these pieces. I mean, and I thought that was so cool because a lot of people put down parchment paper or contact paper or something, so they don't have to deal with the plastic. And I thought that was really neat. So it came with, I think it was, 9 pieces of these rectangle papers that go down on it if you want to take off the plastic. I thought that was like going the extra mile. Plus their bags were like the really nice thick bags. They're not and the big ones. They're not like the real cheap, you know, ones. So if you have not checked out Star Roar, I highly recommend them. I have another one that I will be getting from them because I have a gift card for Amazon, so I'm gonna go pick that out. They have a really pretty like sunflower one that's it's real basic, but I like it. I'm trying to find the drills I need and I cannot find them. So what I had done, which I don't know. Okay, so I'm working on getting a storage video out to you guys, all right? So because I want to really give all the storage options a chance, I hadn't used the Harbor Freight ones. So I wanted to try them because I know like Miss Crocheting Coffee, who's like my favorite YouTuber, she uses them. A lot of people I have seen use them. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to give those a try. So I got them, and I knew this piece was going to be taking me a little while because it is big. So I went from these guys over here, and I would, when I did a color, I would then transfer them to the Harbor Freight ones, so that I could use the Harbor Freight ones now and get a good feel, because I am getting another different storage containers in the, coming soon. So I really wanted to give the Harbor Freight ones a try right now. So I did that, and now I cannot find one of my colors. Like, it's just disappeared. And I don't know where it disappeared to, because it's out. It's not in my other one. Like, it's empty. So I obviously put it somewhere, but I don't know where, because I can't find it. Huh. Let me see what color it is. It's $8.90. It's a dark green. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure that out, because obviously I'm going to need it. I need it for right there, so I can do that piece. But I guess I'm going to do this little section right here, since I have it uncovered, which you can't even see. There you go. See this tiny little section? Yeah. I'm going to do that little section. But one thing I do like about these, which I'll go over that in the storage video, but I like how if you just need like 2 or 3 drills, you can open it up and just take them right out of there. Makes it pretty easy. I'm using my pens that I've made. These are the paracord ones. They're one of my favorites, actually, because I love the thickness. It's like the perfect amount of thickness, not too much, not too little. And even though it's not, it's thicker, it's super lightweight. And so it's not, one that's real thick and heavy. So I really, really like it. I have it for right now I'm using it for my single placer, this one, and then also for my 4 placer for this one. So if you'd like to try one, let me know. I haven't priced them because I just started making them, but they won't be very much because it doesn't cost a lot to make them. I try to be pretty fair with how much it costs compared to how much I charge. I have seen some people that literally get the pens because I've made them too from the dollar store. Like, you get the pens from the dollar store and you turn them into a drill pen, which is great. But it doesn't take that much work to turn it into a drill pen, and it doesn't cost you really anything to turn it into a drill pen if you already have the tips. And I had seen, so there's one that I've seen on Etsy. There's 4 in a pack, which makes them $1 each at the dollar store. So each pen is $1. And they have raised those up to $10. $10 from, they paid $1 for it. And then they charge somebody $10 to, yeah, that's outrageous to me. Like, I would think $4 would be, more than enough, but I don't know, whatever. I don't do an Etsy store. I don't, and you would have to do a little bit more on Etsy. I mean, I know you have to pay Etsy a portion of what you get. So I get it, but I just don't think that you have to pay them that much, but I don't know. I don't have an Etsy shop. I don't have a Facebook shop. I just, if people see my pens because I use them and they ask me, and I say, sure, I can make you one, or I have, I have a bunch that I've already made, And that's kind of just how I do it. I don't advertise really or anything. It's just word of mouth. If you see them and want one, then, you know, yeah. But I'm getting totally sidetracked today. I wanted to do a normal, like, Whip It Wednesday yesterday, but we had some issues with internet. And then I got a horrible sinus headache, which didn't help. Then on top of that, my phone is a new system, like I said. Going from, you know, using an Apple for more than 5 years to switching to an Android is a huge, it's just a change. And, you know, the software is different that I'm using to edit and all that stuff. And those videos normally take 6 to 8 hours to make anyways, because I have to, you know, get all the content, and then I've got to, you know, write it down. Then I've got to put them in the video and do the voiceovers, and a, you know, 20 to 30 minute video can easily take, you know, 8 hours. So yesterday, by the time everything happened with the internet in my head and all, you know, everything else, I was like, there's no way. And I hadn't gotten enough content early enough, and so I had 5 people, but I had like 3 out of those 5 people were like super anxious and excited to get their piece on the video. So I was like, I cannot let them down. I gotta get something on. So I decided to use the screenshot to do it. I still haven't decided if that was a good choice or not to post it, but you know, as one of my viewers commented to me saying that, you know, they liked it, and, you know, I was talking with them because we've talked quite a bit, and I've, you know, was talking about how I was, you know, second guessing if I should even have posted it, and she said, you know, I look at it as, you know, you had all this stuff against you yesterday, and you still made the video and did something and put it up for us. And so she's like, I look at it as just that you're dedicated to getting us content of some kind. And so I hope that you feel the same. I know, and I apologize that it wasn't to my normal standards of a Whip It Wednesday video at all. But that's what I had, and so that's what you got, you know. I'm not perfect. I don't, you know, I'm not like an editor. I'm learning everything as I go. And so you just kind of have to bear with me. But I love, you know, the subscribers that I have that, you know, comment to me all the time, and that, you know, have mentioned how much they enjoy my videos. And so that makes me feel good, and it makes me want to keep going for you guys, because I really enjoy making the videos. I really do. So yeah, and that's why, you know, it was funny because when I was doing the screen recording, I actually got like a knock on my door. And amazingly enough, my dogs didn't go ballistic. Like, they didn't even really bark, which is rare. Anyways, but so I wrapped up that video really quick to go answer my door, and it was a package at my door for yeah, I can't think, or I had diamond paintings and then those stickers that I got. And I was like, you know, I'm just going to add on this unboxing, give you guys a little bit more. So that was yesterday. And I apologize again. It won't be like that again. It'll be normal next week. Back to normal. And I am getting used to the software. I was trying to find a new editing software because the one that I had been using was so different on Android, even though it was called the same thing. It was very different and not nearly as like user friendly. And so I was looking, and it didn't have as much options to do certain things that I, liked to do. So I got a new one, and it was okay, but I still wasn't in love. So I was researching, and I looked up and I watched Gone Off Your Meds video on the editing software she uses. And so I tried that one, and I really like it. It's, it's really nice. However, it is gonna take me a little bit of time to be able to do it and make it, do it well, because there's a lot to learn on there. It's not like so basic that you pick it up in a few minutes. There's a lot on there, and so there's a lot of tutorials and stuff. So I not only watched the Gone Off Your Meds whole video about it, I then watched tutorials and have been kind of practicing here and there with videos. And so yeah, I'm assuming in a week I'm gonna have some good stuff, because I am excited, because there's a lot more options, we'll say that. A lot more options on there than there are on the one that I use right now and the one that I did use on my iPhone. So, yeah. I think I'm going to just finish this little black outline right here that I'm doing, and then I'm going to go. I was up already twice checking on my Dada's blood sugar. And I didn't go to bed till late because my son he's 13. He was on the phone with one of his friends, and he kept waking me up. And I went in at I heard him at 3:30 in the morning. And that's when I was like, nope, So I went in and basically told him if he didn't get off that second, that he was losing his phone, because I don't care if it's summer. That's ridiculous. You don't know. 3:30 in the morning? You're 13 years old. So, anyways, he got off, but I was just, I'm tired, and I'm just not quite my normal self. My brain doesn't work as fast. So, I think that I am going to try and go and get another hour of sleep, because it's only 6:15, so I could easily go and sleep till 7:30, and my kids would be fine, because my daughter gets up at 8 o'clock usually. She likes me to wake her up at 8, so she gets up at 8, and my son gets up kind of on his own. He usually doesn't sleep in very late, but I'm guessing that today he will be sleeping in a little later because he was up so late. It's funny because he's my older one. He's 13, and my daughter's 10. But when they're tired, it's my son that you can notice in the way he acts and kind of falls apart. You can really see it in him before you can see in my 10-year-old. So anyways, all right, I'm gonna go. I'm so glad you guys jumped on and watched this video. I know it was kind of scattered and all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And don't forget, even if it's cloudy outside, keep on shining yourselves. Bye guys.